Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to be duping my polish pickup wish list for April. So the theme this month is video games. And I gotta say, there are a lot of really nice polishes this month. Recently, there's not been much that has intrigued me. There's been polishes I think, oh, that's pretty. And I'll put in my wish list, but I don't feel the need to really have a lot of these polishes. And I find that a lot of them are somewhat dupable, at least enough that I'm happy. But this month I feel like there's a lot of really nice polishes. So I do have 6 in my wish list. The first one, this one actually my friend Lisa sent to me before wish listing even opened, and she told me I should try to dupe it. So this one is Crucible Designs, and when I look at it I see a very beautiful jellyish, kind of like an aqua turquoise, almost leaning teal. It's kind of like in between. And then I see really beautiful like red shifting yellowy orange flakes. And then if you zoom in, it does appear to have some silver reflective glitter. Okay, so when I read the description, inspired by Kevin the dog from the Overcooked series, I don't know what that is, peacock blue base with green aqua shifting iridescent flakes, copper red orange multi-chrome flakes, and gold and silver reflective glitter. So a peacock blue base, yeah, I would say that's pretty spot on. It's like in between, turquoise, a teal, aqua. Okay, so I had 2 polishes that instantly came to mind. First one is Cadillacer, and this is Shape of Water, and this is a beautiful aqua turquoisey leaning teal, and then it's got these beautiful red flakies. So I thought those little red flakes would be perfect. And then to bring in the gold shifting orange, I decided to add, can you guess? Comment down below if you can guess. KB Shimmer's Soul Amazing. And so this was my first attempt, and I feel like this is pretty good. It's got the red, it's got the orange, it's got the base. However, I feel like the base is maybe a little bit darker. However, I still feel like it overall just encompasses the feel of the polish. And so I'm pretty happy with this one. Then I want to try one more. So for undies, I use Sinful Colors Rise and Shine. And then I used Polish for Days Catch You Later Dudes. This one has those beautiful orangey shifting gold flakes. And then to bring in some red, I pulled KB Shimmer's Take It or Leave It. And it looks like that. And that one actually is really good too. I feel like an exact dupe is somewhere in between these two. I don't think either one is exactly right. They're both off by a little bit. This one feels like a little bit brighter, and this one feels a little bit darker. So I think, like I said, an exact dupe would be somewhere in between. I decided to go ahead and swatch this one, the Cadillacer, and then the Soul Amazing. And then when I did it on the actual nail, I felt like once I added this one, it did kind of hide the red flakies. I know on the nail wheel you can still see the red flakies, but on the nails, it just overtook the red flakies. So I did decide to do a kind of soft dry brushing of Take It or Leave It by KB Shimmer. So my swatch picture you'll see is these 3. And honestly, I'm pretty happy. Like I said, I don't think it's exact, but it's close enough, and I don't feel the need to get this one. It is really pretty though, and I am intrigued by it. It's only $12.50, so I do think it's beautiful. However, I'm not gonna go ahead and get it. And also, I didn't even bother with the reflective glitter because honestly, it's hardly noticeable. The only time you're really gonna even see it is if you have a flashlight, and I don't walk around with flashlights, so I didn't even bother with the reflective. Okay, then the second one, this one, I mean, it's obvious that I'm gonna be attracted to this one. This one is BCB Lacquers Sword That Seals the Darkness. And when I look at this, it's a beautiful crisp white, kind of like I'd say more like a Crelly formula, not quite jelly, but more like a Crelly formula. And then I see these beautiful iridescent, greeny, gold shifting yellowy flakes. And then I see little black flakes. And I have a thing for polishes like this that are white soft gray, and then they have the iridescent flakies and then like the little black speckles in them. I have a thing for them. So the first one that I decided to try was Night Owl Lacquer's Hangin' Tough, but I knew that this one pulled more gray. However, I liked it because it has the iridescent flakies and then it has the black flakies as well. So I decided to try to pull it a little more white. I would use Color Club's French Tip as undies. And I don't know, I just don't like it. It's a little too sparse. And then also having the white undies under the gray, I don't know, just kind of feels, it doesn't look right. It just looks weird. So then my next thought process was Cuticula's Pegasus Wings. Beautiful. It's got the white base. It's got those gorgeous iridescent flakies. And then on the swatch wheel, I did do a coat of the white. However, I don't really think the white undies was necessary. And then, can you guess what I did for the black flakies? Yes, you're right. I used Batsy. Batsy. I'm always forever using Batsy. However, look how overpowering that is. So even though my Batsy is thinned out, lately every time I'm using Batsy, because everything nowadays has black flakes in it, and so I'm always using Batsy, I feel like my Batsy is always overpowering. So even though I've thinned out my Batsy, made it, you know, more sparse, I still feel like it's too dense. So really I need to thin out my Batsy again because it's still a little bit too dense. So that's that. You can see how dense it is, and it's just, I don't know, but the overall combination with the black flakes and then the white and then the iridescent flakies is really good. Then I decided to try just to see if, you know, I liked it better. Mooncat Curiosity's Prey. I wore this back in February. I absolutely love this polish. It's so beautiful. It's very, very similar to Cuticula. So in all honesty, you could really do either of them. I feel like this one maybe shifts a little bit more rainbow than this one does, but it's so, so pretty. And then again, I use Rogue Lacquer's Batsy. I try to do a little more of a dry brushing, but still, it's so overpowering. So then I decided to try one more thing, and I use Curiosity's Prey. And then I forgot to say, but this one I also used white undies. And then for my next attempt, I didn't bother using undies, so I just did Curiosity's Prey. And then instead of using Batsy, I decided to use my polish Ants in My Pants by Never Naked by Jackie. Now these are just little black speckles. It's not flakies. However, look at that. It's much more cohesive. It's not overtaking the whole polish. And so my swatch, I ended up going with this one. I didn't use undies. I just did this and then my topper. Now in the future, if I were to ever actually get around to wearing this one, I would probably just thin out my Batsy even further, which I need to do it soon. I feel like there's not quite enough room to add as much base as I want to get it as sparse as I want it to be. But I don't know, in the future I will thin this out again, and then I would probably use this instead of my polish so that it's more flakies and not just little speckles. But overall, I really like this, and I'm not gonna go ahead and buy this polish. And it's $13.50 anyways, so it's above my cap. I'm not going to be going above 13 unless it's like something that I just cannot live without. Oh, I never even told you the description. Inspired by Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, a white crelly with gold orange flakes, green, blue, purple flakes, and black metallic flakes. All right, so the next one, let me see what I did on my nail wheel next. Okay, the next one is really beautiful. This one is Cleonida Cosmetics Selkie Caravan. So when I look at this one is just a beautiful, bright, like aqua. It's like in between a green and an aqua, jammed packed with flakies. It looks almost foiled, like there's so many, it looks almost like metallic foiled flakies. That's what it feels like to me. And this one is $13. It's really beautiful. It's really shiny. It's really vibrant. And then when I read the description, inspired by one of our favorite RPG games from childhood, my favorite type of game, RPGs, I love RPGs, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Okay, and then let's see. Selkie Caravan, oh, it's just called Selkie Caravan, not iSelkie. I guess that was just a dash, so it's called Selkie Caravan. Selkie Caravan has a green leaning turquoise jelly base with bright green micro flakes that subtly shift to aqua and blue with scattered holographic micro glitter. Okay, so right off the bat, I was thinking of KB Shimmer's Sweater Weather. So beautiful. It's got that kind of turquoisey aqua base, leaning a little bit more green, and then it's basically made up of tiny, tiny micro flakies. And then together it gives almost like a foiled metallic-y, flaky look. Really, really beautiful. This is, I just did 2 coats on the nail wheel, and 2 coats on the nail wheel I think is really, really good. It's not exact, however, it's so close. It's got the same vibe. It's got that same kind of like metallic-y, foiled, sparkly look to it. It's so beautiful. And then when I pulled up my swatch picture is most likely 3 coats. And so my swatch picture looks a little bit darker. So wearing this fully opaque and built up is maybe a little bit darker than the Cleonida, but it's got the same feel, the same vibe, and I don't feel the need to get the Cleonida. And I'm actually really surprised that the Cleonida is only $13. I thought their polishes were like $15, 15 or 16. All right, the next one, let me see. Okay, the next one is Cuticula's Portal. And when I look at this one, it's a beautiful, soft purple, maybe with a little bit of blue. And then it's got gorgeous kind of like blue shifting rainbow flakes. And then it's got black flakes. And this one is $13. So then when I read the description, Portal is a soft blue curly base with green blue, orange gold shifting glass flakes, orange red large particle shifting shimmer, and matte black flakes. I'm trying to zoom in. I don't really see shimmer per se. Now they're calling it blue. When I look at it, it's definitely looks purple. Not really blurple, almost kind of like, almost leaning a bit periwinkle, I would say. However, I don't feel like there's enough blue in it to really call it periwinkle either. So it's a really interesting color. So my first thought, because they're calling it a blue curly, so I was like, all right, let me see what I have in my blue drawers that maybe have a little bit of purple. Couldn't really find much or really anything that was close enough to this color, but I did decide to try Essie's The Bestest. Really, really pretty, but this is definitely a blue, like a bluey gray. There's really no purple in it. And then for the flakies, I did Fancy Gloss Crystal Opal. Look at that. So, so, so pretty. And then for the black, I used, because I already knew that this was overpowering, I went ahead and used my Ants in the Pants again as a topper. And that's what it looks like. Now, overall, I think this is beautiful. I actually would wear this mani. However, it's just not, it's not a dupe. There's no purple. It's not a good dupe. So then, after I swatched on my nails and I wasn't happy with it, I decided to try again after I'd already done my next polishes. So that's why it's all the way over here. And I went through my purples, and then I found Color Club's Holy Chick. I actually have 2 versions of this, and they're 2 completely different colors. But I pulled this one. This one has a little bit of purple and it's a little bit of blue. So this one I would say is a really interesting, unique, soft periwinkle. And then I went ahead and did the same toppers. I used the Fancy Gloss, and then I used my Ants in the Pants. And this is how that one looks. Now this one is much better. However, the color is still not spot on. It's not the same. But like I said, it is much better. And actually, I think this is beautiful. My dupe, or my attempted to dupe, is really beautiful. And I actually would really wear this one as well. But it's not a dupe. And I'm really, really interested in this Cuticula. I kind of think I want to buy it. It's just so pretty. And I feel like it's one of those polishes that I just want to have. Now the thing is that I do work night shift tomorrow, so I'll be sleeping during the day. So I'm obviously not going to set an alarm to wake up to buy a polish, but if I wake up, you know, like to take the dogs out or something, and I can remember and I hop on and it hasn't sold out, then I will probably buy it. However, if, you know, for whatever reason I forget and then it sells out, I'm not going to cry about it. But if I can manage to get this, then I think I'm going to, because I do really like it. Okay, now the next one. This one is one that I feel like I would have to have if I couldn't find a dupe for it. So this is Bee's Knees, and it's called Queen of Rot. This one is so beautiful, and every single picture looks slightly different. So first I see like a rich, beautiful brown with a little bit of green shimmer. And then in other pictures, I see an intense green shimmer, but still with that beautiful rich brown base. Some pictures it looks more jelly. Some pictures it looks more like a russet brown. The ones that I'm most intrigued by are the ones that are just like a really rich green with the soft shimmer, not the more russety ones. So that's the ones that I tried to do, or that's the picture that I tried to do. Basically, this polish is a chameleon, and in whatever lighting and on your different skin tones, it's going to look different. So it says, inspired by Melina from Elden Ring. Melania from Elden Ring. A dark chocolate Dumicorn sibling with the same green to blue shimmer. I do not see blue at all. Please note this polish may stain. Okay, so right off the bat, two polishes jumped into my mind. And let's talk about the undies first. For undies, I decided to use Light Slacker Olivia. It's got that rich, beautiful brown base. I thought this would be a really good base. Okay, so for the first attempt, I instantly thought of Bee's Knees Lacquer Dragon Heartstring. Now, look at this. Look how amazing this polish is in the bottle. Let's talk about this polish for a minute. Okay, so I've had this for several years. This polish is so gorgeous in the bottle. However, on the nails, that green shimmer is non-existent. I kid you not. I'm going to show you my swatch picture of Dragon Heartstring, so you can see that there's no green shimmer. Over the years, I have tried using so many different undies. I've tried red undies, I've tried green undies, I've tried black undies. Nothing makes that green shimmer stand out. And I've almost decluttered this so many times, but I just didn't have the heart to do it because look how gorgeous this is. So I was like, okay, let me try, but it's not really gonna do much. You guys, look at that. It's not coming across on camera, but the green, oops, this one. The green actually stands out for the first time ever. It is soft and subtle. It looks more like some of these other pictures where it's just a soft, subtle green shimmer, but it's really good. So then I wanted to try a second attempt because I didn't think this was going to work at all. So I already had a second backup in mind. So I used the same base, and then I decided to top it with Island Peas Salem, which this is just an intense green, like an intense metallic-y, sparkly green. And that's what this one looks like. Now this one is obviously much more intense, and this one actually looks very, very similar to some of the other pictures. So honestly, they both work depending on which picture you look at. They both, I would say, are pretty spot on dupes. This one matches perfectly for the softer, more subtle pictures. This one matches perfectly for the ones that are just really intense green. You really don't even see the chocolatey base, you only see the green. So I think they're both perfect dupes, or you know, as close to perfect as I'm going to get. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to swatch, and in the end I did decide to go with the Bee's Knees Lacquer just because I was so excited to finally find a way to wear this that it actually shows up on the nails. So that's what I'm wearing. I know this is not the appropriate time of year to be wearing this polish, but I really just wanted to wear it. And I don't think the green's gonna come across on camera, but you'll see my pictures and I'll include the little video. And I'm really happy with this dupe, you guys. All right, and then the final one is Polish for Days. Star Fragments. Now this one is $13.50, so right off the bat, it's more than I'm wanting to spend. Okay, so when I look at it, it's a really beautiful, I would say like a blue curly base, chocked full of blue, kind of like purpley pink flakies. Really, really beautiful. If you zoom in, I think you can kind of see little black flakes, but honestly, with the busyness of the other flakies, you really don't see it that much. And because it's a darker polish, the black kind of just blends in a little bit. Okay, so when you read the description, inspired by glowing Animal Crossing Island, a navy blurple base with pink, purple, and blue glowing iridescent flakes and a scattering of black flakes for depth. So yeah, just add depth. It just adds depth to it, but you don't really see the black flakes. Okay, so right off the bat, this feels very familiar to me. In the last, I think this is the third time since I started doing this series that I've duped a dark blue polish with kind of bluey, purpley, pink flakes. This year was Cuticula. Last year was Polish for Days. So it doesn't feel overly unique to me. However, I still think it's beautiful and I want to give it a try. So first I decided to try a blue, and I used Zoya's Sailor as the base. And then for the topper, I used Fancy Gloss Rainbow Moonstone, because it's got blue, it's got the pink, it's got purple, and that's what it looks like. I think the flakies are really good, and I didn't bother with the black, by the way. I think the flakies are really good. However, I think the base is a little too dark. This is more navy. If I were to like actually wear this, I would try to find a better blue. I couldn't find one that was exact, so I just went with this one. However, I do think this is a little bit too dark, so it's not an exact dupe. And then I decided to try purple because it does say a navy purple base. And then I used Zoya's Pinta, and then I used the same topper. And this one leans a little more purple. So I think the blue one is closer. It's not exact. It's a little too navy. I should try to use, to make it more spot on, I would need a brighter blue, but still a dark blue, but more of a brightness to it than this one. So neither one of these are exact dupes. I honestly wouldn't even say that they're terribly close. I think the flakies give off the same vibe, but I don't think either one of them are an exact. But at the same time, I don't feel like this is just overly unique, because I feel like we keep seeing it over and over, just in varying shades of blue. So I'm not going to get this one, plus it's $13.50, and I don't want to get that one. I don't want to spend that much anyways. So that means I will possibly be getting one, just a Cuticula, and then 5 of them I'm not going to be getting. I'm pretty happy about that. If you guys have any in common with me, let me know what's on your wish list. Like, what are you dying to have? Like, what's your must-haves? Leave any comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.